Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 880 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Takamalda, and joining me in pretend low Earth orbit, we have Rob Rosboom.
Hello.
Chris DeBona.
Hey.
Gentlemen, we have completed the pre-phone call check-in. Is there anything public check-in that we wish to mention before we go to the zone?
I think I've aired all my grievances.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. The discussion of maladies and
the organ recital is what
yeah.
the old men call.
Yeah. The sound off. All right. Well, the first one that I have on the list is, guys, have you ever wanted a pierogi in space?
I'm charmed by this story. Tell me more.
I kind of am too. There's an astronaut going up, and they're sending up pierogis.
Is a pierogi a pierogi? Is it pierogi when it's Russian and pierogi when it's Polish? I don't know.
If I were to go to a restaurant and order it, I would say pierogi, but I live in Michigan. And we're not exactly known for accuracy.
Well, Hamtramck is about as Polish as anything gets. It's like the most Polish parts of Cleveland. So,
yeah.
We say pierogi, pierogi it is.
Pierogi, yeah. You say it with like anger about the Russians, I think.
Sure.
You know, it's about the feelings.
You know who's not going to get a pierogi, though?
Who?
Butch and Suni. Because they're home now. But did you see this story? They don't get any overtime.
That's true, but they do get temporary duty pay. So there's a concept in the federal government, something called TDY, which is when you do duty overseas or in a base far away. Like if you work for the Department of Defense or the State Department or something.
But they
get a
employees?
higher rate. What's that?
I think they're Boeing employees.
No. They still get they're Boeing. If they're Boeing contractors for NASA, they still get the benefit. So they're probably paid more, but they're not paid overtime because it's considered an overseas posting. You know, so that's my understanding.
I don't think this is right. I think they should at least get a little something, a little scratch.
Well, I mean, they probably, they're what, 50 kilograms of personal allowance. That's always been kind of a nice moneymaker on the side for the astronauts,
I suppose. Get some treasure to bring back.
Yeah. And, we shouldn't underestimate the power of treasure.
They're also, I suppose, both of them are going to get to write a book. And while they're not going to sell a zillion copies, they'll get to write a memoir or something that'll probably get them a little advance. A little scratch. Nothing wrong with that.
They could go work for the astronaut contractors. They could go
probably not
become
anymore.
senator or Congress people.
We don't hire anymore. We only fire.
Sorry, I didn't realize we had changed.
We've changed the rules now. Yeah. We're in a different country than when they launched.
And there would be overtime if it wasn't for that darn Doge. Right? Is that what you're saying?
It's Doge's problem.
It's Doge's fault. Yeah.
We don't hire anymore. We only fire. It's all downhill from here, guys.
Yeah.
But it's not downhill for whoever the dude is that owns the original Han Solo Star Wars blaster.
I have had a hell of a time finding that actual auction.
Oh, is it gone now?
I'm trying to find it, and the Rob Report article is just so filthy.
Yeah,
with
ads,
deceptive links and overlays that I'm not even going to show it. It's like what it is. It's just gonna be a bunch of stock footage.
I'm looking at it right now. There's a Han Solo blaster. There's an R2. The thing that I thought was interesting in that particular link is that the same auction they're gonna have the original George Reeves Superman costume.
Okay, I think I found it finally by following the last link in the article, which wasn't deceptive, unlike every other link in the article.
We truly do live in a dark ages. Like, how much time did we spend making sure that it was the right link? Like, on Slash.stories.
And it's not even in here.
Oh. Well, there's... Ugh.
I don't care about some crappy training lightsaber.
Hey, I don't know. I wouldn't mind a Pedro Pascal pistol.
That'd be pretty cool. So what I did find though was, Prop Store recently sold a bowcaster, an on-screen used photo match bowcaster for $768,000.
Jesus, if Chewie's gun gets 760, they're saying $3 million for Solo's blaster.
I think they might get it.
I think you're right.
Fans with that much stupid money who are willing to buy a bowcaster, which is just this thing,
right? If you had that kind of cash, would you choose a lightsaber hilt or a Hans blaster?
I have a ThinkGeek sourced Graflex based lightsaber right here, and I don't give a crap about that. No, I wouldn't spend any money on that shit. Are you kidding?
Okay, so let's say you have to buy one or the other, and they're the same price. I'm just trying.
I don't get a choice to get Chewie's bow because that's
you
what
can have. You would choose Chewie's bow.
The bowcaster.
You know what, Rob? I would have guessed that about you.
Yeah, I like that thing.
It has stereoscopic sights. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the big
the center, that makes perfect sense. I guess those are blasters too. Is that what the implication there?
The big dampeners on the ends, I'm not sure what that's exactly supposed to be.
That's for your pleasure, yeah. It's actually a baffling gun. So it's got a pistol-y thing here at the end. And are the sights actually more pistol-y things like pew-pews?
Well, and also like in order to see them, how do you position that?
Well, I think that's why they have to be like another kind of gun. So you have a gun and a gun and a gun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually shoot arrows, right? Or does it shoot arrows from this thing?
Maybe the string is primarily
energy
decorative.
arrows. I mean, you guys care about Star Wars way more than I do.
So no, the string, it doesn't shoot arrows. Nothing comes out of there. It shoots lasers just like everything else.
Yeah, it's ceremonial string.
It just has ceremonial string.
It's evocative of the past of the Kettrick people.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about this on stream too much, but like 2 weeks ago, I went on like a 5-day. I finally did Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And I had a good time with that game.
I believe you.
And I had such a good time that yesterday I ordered Star Wars Survivor. And perhaps
is that a Survivor game?
It is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order.
I see.
It's fun playing games that are like 3-4 years old because you can get them for like $10.
Yeah, and they run on anything. They run on, a potato.
Well, I'm putting this on a PS5.
I've heard of those.
Yes.
That's a console?
It is. You plug it to your TV. I should game more on my PC. I have a PC fully capable of gaming quite well, and I play almost no video games on it. But I'm actually really looking forward to playing more of those games.
Sure.
Dirty console peasant, thank you. I have the choices. I have
Rob
the
doesn't
choice.
notice what I did.
Oh, I did.
No, you see the video? Yeah. Right.
You elitists.
Well, it's not that we're elitists. We're just,
You're better than me.
We understand what's good.
Here.
There you go.
There.
I love that graphic.
That's actually not quite right, but yeah. Anyways, you get the point, I think.
I do. You think you're better than me? That's cool.
It's not, I think. But okay, sure. Let's
if you
go.
I don't think that.
The problem though with PC gaming right now is I can't get my deserved 5090 because they are apparently being sold.
You didn't go to GTC.
I didn't go to
GTC. From the food truck.
They're selling them at a food truck,
which is kind of brilliant, along with the shirts and
the merch.
Rest, the merch truck has real merch. That's the MSRP.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anyone selling it for MSRP.
No,
know?
And I would absolutely buy a 5080 for MSRP. I want to build. Have you ever seen? I think it's Fractal Designs Mini ITX Edge case. It's like a low profile, really thin case, and you'd be able to position the blow through GPU on the side, like sideways, and have it blow through, and like put it in a TV cabinet. I think it'd look fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to build, but you can't get a 5080. You just can't get them. They don't exist. They're unobtainium. Makes me grumpy.
I've heard that about you.
There's a micro center about 45 minutes away from here, and I do look every couple of days what they have, and it's like they have 1 GPU, and I'm like, I'm not going to drive out there, and it's going to be sold out.
Well, I think that there's been like a surge of like AMDs. So their latest is they actually stocked them. Yeah. And so they sold out on those. And it turns out you'll find a 5090 every once in a while, but they're all the higher spec AIB makers.
Yeah, and I don't.
So you'll spend like $3,000 now.
I don't want
thank
that.
You. It's stupid.
No,
you know?
I want.
And it's like, yeah.
I want the 5080, and I want it for MSRP, and I want a Founders Edition because I really like that cooler, and it would fit in a small case.
Yeah, that's true.
That's never going to happen because we live in a dystopian world where all of the silicon is going to AI GPUs so that we can render Studio Ghibli versions of our faces.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Did you link to a story?
I actually didn't. I didn't link that. That was not intended to be a clever segue. I was like, that's just like, I get it. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
I admit, I think this image is kind of genius.
Oh, for sure.
It's beautiful in its own way.
Hey, there's our screenshot. There's our screenshot. Oh yeah, smile for the camera.
And since AI generated things don't,
they're not copyright.
Copyright,
Yeah. I'm sure that'll hold.
It's funny because actually, the thing is, once Studio Ghibli had this style, it's clearly derivative of earlier anime.
Of course.
It's just people are going to continue to ape and homage and advance art.
But that's art.
Just in the same way they always have, And that's so I don't really have an issue with this. This is kind of great.
I have mixed feelings on it. I don't necessarily care per se, but the ruling that AI generated art is not copyrightable, there's no way that stands. There's too much money on the table.
Well, and also what happens after, so you work with an LLM in the same way you work with Photoshop, and you put your special mark on it, as part of your prompt engineering. Yep. That's when it becomes copyrightable, so.
Sure. It's all BS. Nothing matters anymore. Nothing's real.
It's going to take a decade before we get this all figured out too in the courts. So
yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
For sure.
In the meantime, look at this great meme. It's so funny.
It's great. AI did that for us. Hey, guess what? Did either of you ever give your DNA to 23andMe?
Yeah, I already deleted my accounts. Don't know if that's gonna help.
For sale to the highest bidder, guys. There was
as far as I'm concerned, they can have all my DNA they want.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with it?
You're saying that your DNA is invaluable because of your many maladies?
No, I don't know what the end game of this is, other than maybe selling it to an insurance company and then having the insurance company say, because of this marker, we won't insure you, but we don't have the specificity. We don't have the ability to do that right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Part of the reason they had to take away all their medical stuff and going bankrupt is because there isn't a correlation like that. It's not a one-to-one thing.
Well, and more importantly, insurance companies are happy just to deny you coverage just because it's a day ending in a Y,
Yeah.
So they're like, we don't need complicated tools like that.
All they need is
do it. We have a random number generator that kicks out a quarter of our people every month. It's fine.
They need the flimsiest of reasons, and there's no way that buying this for $10 million would give them the flimsiest of reasons.
Yeah, if anything, it would just bring them under more regulatory scrutiny. It's like, why would they do that?
I'm fully expecting that that's exactly what's going to happen. Somebody's going to buy it, and it's going to get tied up in courts, and millions of people are going to be denied insurance. But did you see that the price is that it's $35 million?
Mm-hmm.
Like down from 3 billion or something just like a couple of years ago.
6 billion.
Well, that's because the information they have isn't accurate or deep enough to be used for anything.
I don't believe that anymore.
Honestly, they should have just sold them to Ancestry.
That's absolutely the truth. That does not mean the people in charge won't decide that isn't the truth.
Well, yeah, it's like Martin Shkreli raising the prices of drugs. I mean, just because you shouldn't doesn't mean you won't.
Well, no, it's even worse than that, because literally there's no scientific basis for saying that you would have this disease.
But I guess I don't believe that the insurance company cares about the scientific basis of things.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is realistically, it's valueless. when it comes to that.
It's
That does
viable to
not
the
mean
genealogy types,
that,
you know?
yes, but that does not mean the insurance company won't try to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
It means something different.
It's just
Yeah.
the company that's going to say, we are willing to gamble on the decades of
and at
insurance,
that
of
point-
lawsuits.
At that point, there would just be some other thing that they would try to stick on, like they do right now, denying your claims because they have to have you do paperwork.
I mean, we talked
go
about this
back.
before when Cigna, Colin get no answer, Cigna, they were denying like a quarter of the claims just on a random number generator to see who pushes back, because of fraud and insurance fraud.
Yeah.
And so they ended up paying a very large fine and settlement because of that. But,
this just seems to be one more tool they have, and they're not short on tools.
Yeah, they're not short on tools. They're not short on desire to screw people over. I mean, come on,
I guess all I'm saying is that $35 million makes this a really cheap tool.
Exactly. The reason it isn't more money is because it isn't an effective one.
Yeah, I think that it's $35 million to Ancestry or genealogy or the Mormon Church or whatever, right, for their research. But
man, I hope you're right. I hope it's something not nefarious, but I don't believe it. I believe private equity is going to buy it, and it's going to get spun out into something evil 5 years from now.
Probably.
Yeah. I have no doubt that this might get spinned out, and especially genetically specific supplements. Or healthcare stuff they can sell you like that. This screams that to me.
Like blood type diets from the 70s.
Yes. This is what that 35 million you double your money easy selling.
Yeah, RFK Jr. is not going to stand by for some fake. Oh, wait a second.
No. And remember when George W. Bush outlawed animal-human hybrids?
Yeah.
That's
probably what this is really about. They're probably going to start using this.
That woolly mouse story kicked all this off again.
It's true.
They're like, not under my God, or whatever. So,
All right, the next one that I have on the list that I picked for no particular reason, we got a story about a jury awarding a $5.6 million settlement to a dude who had a spinal surgery, and the doctor didn't have the rod required for the procedure, so he just used part of a screwdriver that he had.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Wow.
I shared this story for no reason in particular, but this one kind of boggled my mind. He was missing a rod, so he used a screwdriver. It's probably the same.
Oh my God.
Yep, the stainless steel screwdriver snapped 2 days later.
So what you're saying is next Tuesday I need to have proof of rods before before they put me down. Show me the hardware.
I want to see the parts.
Make sure it's here.
I want to see the parts.
Yeah. God damn it. The mechanic has to show me the parts. You have to show them to me too.
Exactly. If the mechanic has to do it when I get my Ford Taurus carburetor fixed.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
David said earlier that Rickson's medical license had been suspended in Oklahoma and Texas before he came to Hilo.
Oh, great.
Oh, they're gonna lose all that money.
That's right. I feel really bad. Yeah, that's why we have liability insurance.
Use a hacksaw to cut the screwdriver shaft and insert it into it to brace the spine.
I'm forwarding this story to a certain person. We're going to be talking about this all day. I know.
I've been sitting on this one for like 4 days, Rob.
Wow.
I was.
Do we know anybody who's getting spinals?
I was sure that you would have read this.
No, I've been laying low and trying not to read too much.
Sorry, dude.
That's all right.
We got the How to Train Your Dragon, the trailer for the live action version of that. You know what I think is really weird is that I saw the trailer for the How to Train Your Dragon and the live action Lilo and Stitch kind of like the same time. Those are both the same director.
They are?
Yeah, Chris Sanders. And it's kind of weird that like two of his best movies are both getting like live action remakes at the same time, even though those movies are like 6-7 years apart theatrically.
Wait. So this How to Train Your Dragon is a live action one?
Yeah.
And not animated? Are you sure?
Look at it.
Yep. Positive.
I mean, it's as live action as like any Marvel movie, where they are basically superimposing human faces into whatever else is in the world.
I just assumed this was all just animation.
Yeah.
I love Toothless.
Yeah.
What a great
design.
guy. Is this supposed to be Astrid?
Looks like she's been enjoying some of the Hobbit
I've
weed.
played video games that look like this,
For sure. But it's that's all converged, right? We've made movies look worse and we've made video games look better.
I'm sure it's gonna be good though. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon was awesome.
Well, the Lilo and Stitch trailer looked like shot for shot. Like, you remember The Lion King when they redid The Lion King? How it's shot for shot and like it's embarrassing. I
would watch this. I wouldn't bother with all the Snow Whites and those other remakes.
Well, that's the Snow White. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it makes a lot of artistic, creative changes to the source material. But that's the thing with some of these live actions. Like, is it going to be a shot for shot, or is it going to be like a like, are they going to change stuff?
Yeah, so she doesn't eat the apple in the remake. She just starts a multi-level marketing campaign with the dwarves.
Yeah, and she makes a lot of leggings with them. Yeah.
And then eventually she buys out all the property around the castle.
It's off Pierogis we go.
Yep. One of the dwarves is like, "Hi ho."
Yeah, I don't know, man.
The gay comic relief dwarf.
Yeah, the gay comic relief dwarf that would have to exist. They wouldn't do that now, but they would have done it 10 years ago.
Yeah, So I would watch How to Train Your Dragon. This one.
Oh, I will absolutely.
I wouldn't expect to be all that different from the first one.
But that's I guess my question is, and I can't get a read of that from the trailer. Is it a shot for shot, or is it a?
It looks like it. Boy, it looks like it.
Lilo and Stitch.
The trailer looks like a shot for shot remake of the original trailer.
Man.
Like, I'm sure someone's done a side by side.
Also, this is one of those weird things where, how many more of these? Like, where are we in the life cycle of doing live action versions of animated movies now? Because there are a bunch of them.
Wait till we get the live action
Star Wars,
live action Lego movie.
Yes, live action Lego movie.
Well, I mean, isn't that the Minecraft movie in a nutshell?
Oh God,
that's not going to do well. But this, I think, will do great. So
first one made a ton of money. First one's really good. Great soundtrack.
Honestly, all of them were good. I didn't watch every one of them. I watched like the first 2 or 3. But
I'm just really looking forward to Kerplunk and Ants in Your Pants.
Yep.
Both those movies, those game movies, will be fabulous.
Shoots and ladders.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, look at how good Battleship was.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I have a weak spot for the Battleship movie.
You know what, Chris? Me too. It isn't nearly as bad as you'd expect.
Wow.
Honestly, the last 20 minutes with not the Missouri, but whatever. Boy,
guys, you should
respect, baby.
You should respect yourselves.
I know we're usually saying this to you.
I know.
Battleship, it's got its charm. That said, Taylor Kitsch, he's awful.
Yeah.
And watching Vampire Eric, get it.
But for me, the payoff, like 15 minutes before the movie ends, where you learn why they had to buy the rights to Battleship for that little teeny segment, you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
You didn't need that.
The buoys in a grid. Like, okay, sure.
All right.
And Magnum says I'm gonna love the Minecraft movie. No, I don't think it's. And also, I don't have the Jack Black gene that turns everything he's in into something good.
I like Jack Black, but
he's okay.
It's a dice roll.
Like Tropic Thunder, great.
Oh, Tropic Thunder is 5-star.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, and he didn't detract from it.
The first Jumanji as well.
Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good things. But
hey, we got a White Lotus
Minecraft
story.
movie is not going to be one of them. What's that?
We got a White Lotus story.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I posted this one.
I think it's funny.
This is funny.
I think it's funny that in the storylines in the back end of White Lotus, that the Duke T-shirt is registering more than the other one.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, we don't want to be associated with people ripping other people off and behaving badly in Thailand. Like, that's what you're worried about.
That's what you're worried about, Duke. I imagine that it would not take a very long perusal of famous alumni
Well,
of
Stephen Miller, for
any
one,
Ivy League school.
fucking Voldemort came from Duke. It's like, come
on. I'm really enjoying White Lotus. Like of all the shows right now that are in
That's so
active
good.
circulation, like that's the one that I'm looking forward to the next episode. Reacher's done now, and Reacher was meh.
You know, Reacher's always been meh, but it delivers in precisely what it's supposed to do.
That's
The
right.
first season was perfect.
Yeah.
It was the perfect Reacher season.
It's
This
a
one
good flavor.
was fine. It's better than last season. You know, last season was really mid, but like, yeah.
What's up with After Midnight? One of you shared that. I wasn't even sure why.
So here's the thing. Taylor Tomlinson, you know, Rob and I, we like her quite a bit.
Okay.
She's a great stand-up, you know, a very young talent too. She's like 25 or 26 or something, right? And like just came out of like sort of like the weird Christian talk show circuit, and she rejected all that crap, and she does really well. And then she gets this show handed to her, and it's basically the rewarmed Comedy Central thing.
Yeah.
That what's his name did. And it's like, why you do it dirty like that, CBS? You know?
Well, and Colbert. Colbert is behind all that.
So my question is, you know, is this just how the menu of options presented to him? I don't even know. But like what's funny about it is, you know, After Midnight, over the 2 years, it actually got not terrible. Like, so long as you didn't watch the stupid game show parts of it, like she had like the sit down part with the guests, she had like the monologue at the end there, and it was doing okay.
I mean, that's what she should have done at the beginning. The fact that they
sure.
gave her this
template of crap.
Template of a Comedy Central show that didn't survive Comedy Central.
Yeah. It wasn't even Tosh 2.0, you know?
Right. Like the fact that she's a very talented comic and was starting to crest, starting to be able to sell out big venues, get spots on TV and stuff. And I see why you would take this.
Yeah.
But once you're handed that stupid fucking game, and you see what it is, like you got to pivot right away.
It's garbage.
You know, I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And Colbert on some part had to have known that. Right. I don't think he was trying to screw her over. I think he was trying to help her with her career. It's just this is the wrong way. Yeah.
Well, you know, he put up like a tombstone at the end of his last show or whatever, and you know, it was not terrible. You know, I'd say watch it if you're. But I'm not trying to defend Colbert, right? But it's not as bad as all that. And you know, she's like, I'm gonna go back to one stadiums. You know, this is cool and all.
Yeah,
but it's holding me back.
I'll be fine.
And she's right. Well, you know, so she couldn't change it into a real show.
Yeah.
So she's gonna go out and she's gonna do the stand-up arc. You know?
So I hope that's true. The problem of life oftentimes is momentum.
Yeah.
And she had momentum going into it. It's about what gigs you could get.
Yep.
And she chose this one, and it just turned out to be a bad decision.
I have to assume, and maybe this is just me, but I have to assume that spending 2 years having like any sort of marketing on TV for a late night show, she's got more name recognition now than she did 2 years ago.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily better name recognition. There's lots of people who have name recognition that is associated with garbage. So,
and the most that you can go with name recognition and being associated with garbage is presidency of the United States.
Correct. Well, that's a very specific type of garbage.
That's true.
You know,
it's not selling out Madison Square.
I don't think anyone is claiming that he's not exhilarating or entertaining.
That's true.
You know,
fair enough.
Where you know, she's in that business, and if your show is not funny or entertaining, or doesn't grasp you, that's what you do for a living, that's rough.
That sucks. Vampires versus the Bronx sucks. Don't watch it.
I have watched it.
It's so boring.
Yeah, it's not great.
I watched one
Vampires versus the Bronx. I didn't even know what this is.
Yeah, I watched one called Spring, which is from a 2014 kind of romance horror monster thing, which is actually kind of cool and worth a watch. But it's like a slow, low budget thing, and I kind of recommend it. It's really weird. Guy goes to Italy. His life has fallen apart. His mom died of cancer. He goes to Italy, meets a girl. Girl has a secret. It's a sci-fi horror monster thing. Okay. It's pretty cool. I watched one called Silence and Darkness, which is really cool. for what it is. It's sisters, one blind, one deaf, and they live with father. And it's an 80-minute long movie, super fast. And the first half of it, you kind of get to know them and how they live with their disabilities and how they get by. And like one is like they teach each other, go to a talent show, and you kind of, as the movie goes on, you realize that things are not all good with father and what's happening. And there's no magic or anything. It's just an interesting story that gets real dark in the last 20 minutes. And I kind of think, it's really worth watching. And 80 minutes long, man. I got to tell you, the 80-minute horror movie, big fan.
Did you start watching Daredevil Born Again?
I did.
It's not bad. I watched the first 2 episodes.
You know what? Episode 5 was awesome. It was a bottle episode about a bank robbery. And it was great. It was exactly what I wanted that show to be. I think that show's trying a little too hard to be dark and gritty, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's really well done, and I love Charlie Cox.
He's great.
I miss Foggy, and I miss Karen, but
no spoilers, right?
No spoilers. You spoiled it.
Yeah, I want to guess who you like.
All right.
I want to watch it and then figure out who you like.
So the other one that I watched recently is called Chantel in Fairyland, and neither of you will like this movie, but it's batshit, and it's like a kids movie, kind of about this girl who like she's a trashy influencer girl who gets sent into a magical fairy realm, but it's all like, it's all modern slang, whatever, and it's in German, and the girl is like just really raunchy,
like the original Grimm's Chantel in Fairyland.
Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of like, imagine the girl hooked on her cell phone who wants to take selfies and be TikTok famous, but gets transferred into the world of Shrek. And then it's got sort of a girl power vibe to it. It's super fun.
So I've been listening to the audiobook for Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay.
Which I should hate, because I typically hate it's the real world, but now it's a video game. You know, sort of, the Minecraft novels, the Herobrine's and the rest of it.
Sure.
I can't stand them. This one's really good. It's fantastic. So I would recommend it if you're looking for something and you have a long drive.
All right.
I would check it out.
The other one that I have to recommend to you guys, and this is, you gotta freaking watch Cassandra. This is no doubt awesome, and you will both love it. It's a German TV show. It's Cassandra. I think it's even on Netflix. It's a German family moves into a smart home. They don't know it's a smart home when they buy it for some reason. But it turns out that it was a smart home built in the 70s. So all the tech is like ancient retro tech built in the 70s, and Cassandra is like the robot that runs the house.
Okay.
And it is awesome.
Is it a TV series?
It's 6 episodes. It's really fast paced, but as the show goes on, you get to it becomes like you learn what happened in the 70s. So it's kind of two timelines. You see the modern era, and then you see the development of the family that built the house originally. So you see why things are how they are. Okay. It's dark. It's messed up. The production design is awesome. It goes places towards the end that I did not see coming, but Kathleen totally did.
It ended up becoming part of the Star Wars trilogy?
Yep. That's how they opened the gateway connecting the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Star Wars universe. No.
Through the Cassandra.
Through the Cassandraverse, yeah. No, this is legit probably the show that I've enjoyed the most. Like, we chose to watch Cassandra before episodes of White Lotus. And like it's just 6 episodes. It's easy, it's fun, and it's gonna hit all your buttons. It's great.
So one thing that I was watching, started to watch in between White Lotuses and Reachers, is Om Shanti Om.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a Bollywood movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So
yeah, I told you about that. It's got two timelines. It
you're the one.
Starts in the 70s, goes into the modern era. It's just fluff.
Yeah, I adore that kind of movie. So
yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed Shantium. That's
we're only like 20 minutes into it. So don't spoil it.
No,
this 2007 movie.
Yeah, no. The last half of it's really fun.
Does it end up in Star Wars universe as well? Or?
Well, when Wolverine shows up with Captain Picard.
Can you imagine Indian Wolverine? It'd be fantastic.
Did you see the commercial showing who all's going to be in Avengers Doomsday?
No, I didn't.
They have like a list, and I won't spoil it, but there was a name missing, and everybody's like, well, because that name is missing, now we know exactly who's going to die in Thunderbolts. Do we have anything else we want to get off our chests before we go about our busy days?
Not I, no.
Well, we'll be on hiatus next week. Sorry, Ambaloo, Magnum, and the rest.
5-hour announcement of the cast of Avengers? 5 hours?
No, it's not 5 hours.
Apparently there was like a live stream thing.
Well,
good Lord.
The slowest speech ever. Just barely noticeable. No, that's way too fast.
We're going to review the Eternals and what we learned from it.
Don't. Yeah. Done.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Chris Dabota.
Bye.
That was episode 880 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Takamaldo. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.